I want to say, let this be your permission slip to do the things that are on your heart to do, because they are there for a reason.
Your dreams will always require your healing, and you need to know that in order to move forward. If you feel stuck in your creativity, your art, your business, or your life, then it's essential to understand that you are being asked to heal what's in the way of you creating what you dream about. This podcast is all about the relationship between your emotional health and your creativity. I'm Courtney Lancaster, and this is the Heal Create podcast. Welcome to another episode of the Heal Create podcast. I am here again. I'm Courtney. I'm sure you guys know who I am. I said in the last episode that I recorded that the connection that I've been able to form with you guys through DMs, through discovery calls, and through some of you signing up to work with me or download the course has been really an amazing gift. I love the idea of a community created around the possibility for healing and the possibility of becoming each of our most grounded, true, authentic selves, because those people are the ones that are changing the world for the better. These good-hearted artists and creatives are imagining new things for themselves and for the world. And I love a community that is committed to healing whatever is in the way of them becoming those true, authentic, creative versions of themselves. So I have a short episode for you guys today, and I wanted to give you all a permission slip. So the more that I think about my own purpose and how important it is to be connected to your purpose, the more I think about what my actual purpose is, how I can serve the world, what impression I want to leave on people, how I want people to feel when they're in my presence and when they're, when they've walked away from anything they've heard me speak at or be involved in. And that is this sense of permission. So many people walk around with this deep sense of an external force telling them they aren't worthy or aren't safe to do the things that they want to do. And they don't even know it. And it's written in our nervous system by way of our 0 to 12 programming through either what was modeled to us about what was available to the human beings in our lives, or what they felt that they were free to choose to do, or whether it was explicitly told to us by parents who were maybe scared of the world or scared of us experiencing the same rejection that they did, or the people around us that bullied us or told us who we were or who we weren't. All of that makes up for a human body that walks around with a sense that they are not allowed to do the things that they want to do. What's worse still are those of us that walk around feeling like they don't have permission to heal. And that is really a phenomenon that a lot of us are experiencing in this generation, because the idea of healing and resolving your triggers and understanding your nervous system and all of the things is so prevalent in our culture. And I think that's because we're in a major human growth spurt and it's exciting. But a lot of people feel like, no, this is actually a sign that we are less resilient than ever, more selfish than ever, that focusing on our trauma is actually dangerous. You guys can go back and listen to the Are You Trauma Obsessed podcast to hear what that is. And all of that can create this sense of like, I have things I want to look at, but I don't feel like I'm either allowed to, or it's safe to, or I'm going to be okay if I do. And so I just really want you to consider, what are the things internally that I don't feel like I'm allowed to do? Is it that you don't feel like you are allowed to get support for emotional health? Is it that you don't feel like you are allowed to actually be honest about what happened to you in your past? Or you don't feel like you are allowed to be angry? You're not allowed to be really sad or grieving what you didn't have, maybe because everyone else around you tells you it wasn't that bad? Or maybe because they tell you it's dangerous to look at, your pain. Or do you feel like you're not allowed to be seen? You're not allowed to be visible to the world, or to create something nobody else has created, or to even think that you could have something to say? Is it that you are not allowed to be silly and wild and engage even in social media, which is kind of like the world stage, right? Such a huge part of any creative's journey is really a robust and healthy boundaried relationship with social media. But that, even for so many people, feels there's so much fear and cringe involved that they don't feel like they're allowed to participate. Or you don't feel like you're allowed to show your talent because you don't want to show off. You don't want to make anybody else feel bad. I want you to list out the things you don't feel like you are allowed to do. And then ask yourself, why do I think this? Where did I get this from? And then I want you to think about, what do I not feel safe to do? What does not feel safe? They are actually kind of asking the same question, but the questions will do different things to your brain. So I want you to ask yourself, what do I not feel safe enough to do? Do I not feel safe enough to collaborate with other people on big projects, to offer my opinion or my voice because I might be ridiculed or judged or laughed at? Do I not feel safe to actually say, no, I am an artist? Do I not feel safe to begin to look for another job because this one isn't in alignment with my authenticity? Do I not feel safe to believe something different than my parents because I'm afraid of what will happen to me if I do? Do I not feel safe to look at the big scary thing and go for healing, and to really resolve the things, to really heal what's in the way of me becoming the person that I'm here to become? Where do I not feel safe? What do I want to do that I don't feel safe enough to do? And why don't I feel safe enough to do that? I wanted to bring this up today because I have been thinking about this word. It's kind of a pillar of my purpose, is permission. And how's that for alliteration? A pillar of my purpose is perfect permission. No, okay. Permission. Permission to really say, as somebody who, whether I am, a hopeful little sister to you, or a mother figure, or just a friend, or just a person that you trust enough to listen to their podcast, I want to say, let this be your permission slip to do the things that are on your heart to do, because they are there for a reason. God himself, I believe, put those exact dreams into your heart. And I have to call you out on your own brilliance here, because I have to tell you that we all need your dreams to come true. God's plan for changing the world is by putting dreams on the hearts of his children and then empowering and equipping them to pursue them. That is his plan to heal the world. It's imperative that you allow yourself to dream, that you allow yourself to be really honest about what you want to do with your life, whether you need to go on a healing journey or whether you need to admit that you are an artist and a creative and it's time to step forward. I want to give you a permission slip to do that. So whatever you wrote down about what am I not allowed to do and what do I not feel safe enough to do, I want you to consider this your permission slip. And I want you to write next to each of those things, I give you permission to blank. Whatever each of those bullet points, I want you to fill those bullet points in. I give you permission to reach out to a therapist or a life coach. I give you permission to post something on social media about your talent or an art offering that you have. I give you permission to work on that launch. I give you permission to make a new friend. I give you permission to be honest with someone safe about what you've been feeling or what you're afraid of. I give you permission to have really big, scary dreams. I give you permission to start that book. I give you permission to finish that song. I give you permission to collaborate with other talented people who have space for you. I give you permission to connect with people. And I give you permission to truly dream about the best case scenario in each area of your life. You will not perish. The people perish without vision, but you do have a vision. You are going to be here for a while. And that vision that you have can be found in the imagining of what is the best case scenario for each area of my life. And I give you permission for whatever it's worth. And I hope that you take this for yourself and use this to give yourself permission, of course. But I give you permission to pursue those things in all of your fullness and messiness. Let it be both, right? And that's the only thing that I have for you guys today. Permission, permission, permission. You're an adult. You can do it. You're allowed. Sometimes I still have moments where I notice, like, especially around my family, my aunts and uncles and parents, and I'm like, yeah, I guess I do have this opinion. Or like, I'm sorry that maybe I shouldn't do that. Where I say to myself, Courtney, you are 40 years old. It's funny because in different spaces, we will feel so scared of what people think of what we're doing with our lives. And I just want you to remind yourself, I'm an adult. I'm an adult. I have permission to do this. For right now, if you don't feel like you can give yourself permission, you can say, Courtney gave me permission. She said I'm going to be safe. She said I'm going to be okay. She said that I'm allowed and that no one's mad at me. She said that the things that light me up are actually God's plan for the world to heal. So I wish you the best. I hope that you have such a wonderful weekend, and I will talk to you soon. Bye. Thank you for listening to another episode of the Heal Create podcast. If you have enjoyed this podcast at all, we would love if you would subscribe, rate it, send it to your friends. That would really help us get this message out, this message of empowering people towards emotionally sustainable creativity. Also, we have a PDF for you. So there's an exercise that I created called Inspiration Mirroring. And basically, it is for those that are looking to get acquainted with their authentic, truest self, based on the idea that whatever inspires you embodies your potential. And so if you want to get started on that journey today of really understanding who you are at your core, the person that you hope you are, then you can go to the link in my bio on Instagram or go to my website and download that PDF. I think that's all. Have a beautiful day.